All right, welcome back everybody to a night episode of now Tesla Fi FSD beta. Finally, after what seemed like maybe 2 weeks, it maybe wasn't that long, I finally got the 10.11.2 update coming from 10.10.2. So basically went up a full point release. Heard lots of great things about 10.11 in general. Really strange rollouts, but anyway, I'm really excited to get going on this. So let's get our first route put in here. We're gonna go to Pybus Market, and here's an overview of what that looks like. I'm actually gonna put up a Google map of a picture of what my full route looks like, so you guys can have a look at where I'm going with this, and kind of the idea that each drive I go on for my initial drive, so you can see what turns, etc., are coming here. Some of the things I've noticed that I had not seen before in 10.10.2, a dash cam recorder has moved back up there as well. So some small things that have been updated. This is my first release as well on for 2022. The last hash I got was for 2021, the 10.10.2. So anyway, yeah, it should be a quick drive, and we'll get going here. All right. Bump it on up. So FSD is okay. So strange turn signal there, not needed. FSD has been pretty dang good for me at night around here. So okay, we're a little bit close to this curb. Okay, it did turn, which is good. I just got my Uber turbines put back on as well. I'm super stoked about that. The Geminis were just, there's a little bit of a wide turn there with this guy coming through. So I don't know if I stopped it or what, but that was a bit wide for that turn. Okay, so got my Uber turbines put back on, really stoked for that. I had the Gemini winter wheels put on with winter tire package on them. Did fantastic in the snow, but super glad to have the summer tires back on and those sweet Uber turbines. All right, first unprotected left. We should be in this left lane. Okay, no, it's making a decision. Okay, so there's a little bit of weird jerk right there. Having a hard time deciding which lane to be in. Creep and in the lane, and it's gonna commit. Okay, so low traffic, it was fine. It still was a little bit hesitant in the middle of the road, and before it really decided to commit. Okay, so not sure why it's slowing here, and I'm taking over here because again, the line markings need to be repainted here, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it on this, but essentially, oh, did I get kicked out? No, I don't think I got kicked out. Oh, I'm on cruise, I see. Okay. Yeah, so the lane markings have been worn from the paint, and I've noticed that FSD has had a hard time, especially with that spot. When it's making that right turn, it doesn't see those double lines, and so it used to be pretty good about not moving to that, but it's like every time I take that on FSD, there's a car in that other lane, and anyway. So yeah, I freaked out a bit there. I've been disengaged. I'm gonna go ahead and re-engage now. So we'll count that as a disengagement. And coming down to a four-way stop here, hasn't really had much of an issue here. You know, since the full stop at a light and the California roll has been eliminated, unfortunately it's been a bit awkward at some of these. Okay, so that's not bad. It came to a full stop, but definitely started to go immediately, and then there was a weird back and forth. Okay, great, this is the right lane for this left turn. Sometimes it wants to get into the right lane there, but this is good. I guess still has a hard time with the auto headlights. I guess it's maybe still a little bit cold, so the regen braking will be a little bit degraded. Let's go ahead and do full screen here now. I know where we're going. Y'all now know where we're going. Coming up to yield from roundabout traffic here. The auto brights, like it's okay, but maybe the cars in this other lane, I don't know. It's still a little bit awkward. All right, coming in a little hot, and that's okay. Lights pretty close to the lane line there. Okay. And rolls right on through. All right. Okay, strange lane change there. There's really no reason that we need to be in this lane. It's never done this before. I'm not sure why we're in the middle lane. We're definitely going to need to get into the right lane. Okay, deciding to get back in the right lane. That's fine. Again, just unnecessary. There was no reason for it to get into the left lane to begin with. Like I said, it hasn't done that before. So, all right, coming up on our right turn to a rondo, and then at the bottom of the hill, we're going to be at the Pybus Challenge. Pybus Challenge is pretty straightforward. There is a right turn lane that is only marked in the road. It always stays in that right turn lane and never makes it into the left lane, so it can go straight through to the market. I have yet to make it to the market yet in FSD. We're still in the right lane now. I don't know how far it will anticipate. It does see, and we'll watch, you'll see that it does recognize the right turn lane only in the lane, but then sometimes it tried to go straight, and then other times it just stops. So let's see what it does today. Okay, still in the lane. See, there's the turn markings. And four-way stop. And, okay, well, you know, I'm going to report that. I probably should have turned, I think every other time it's done that, instead of just getting stuck, I stop it, because it's technically incorrect, right? We should be not in that lane. So technically still haven't made it, and for the sake of continuing on the course of not making it, I'm going to go ahead and make a quick loop here into the market, and then we'll go the typical route back to the typical route I've been able to go. So here's the market. It's sort of, it's a public market. It's sort of a knockoff, or trying to be the Pike Place Market in Seattle. They basically ripped off the sign, but it's still pretty cool. There's local vendors in there, local eateries, etc. And my commitment has been, if it successfully, being in the right lane, successfully makes it to the Pybus Market in the correct lane, I will go in, hopefully if they're open, and I will purchase some meat from Mike's Meats, which isn't, it's still a good thing. Oops. All right, so we're gonna go to favorites and loop end. Okay, rerouting, and also just to be kind of fair, I'm gonna go ahead and, so again, this is usually where the route, I forced the route into the turn lane. Luckily there wasn't any traffic tonight, so that's kind of why I went. But so here's what has been our typical route. Okay, so some strange jerking there for no reason. Luckily, again, empty, not a whole lot going on. traffic being the evening. Had some strangeness going through this little intersection, but okay. So looks like we're gonna make a turn just fine here. And then here's our next unprotected left. Totally free to go. Okay, so slow to commit on that, but it was fine. Again, another, the nice thing that I have noticed, even with 10.10.2, is that the turns are definitely a lot more natural now. They used to be pretty jerky, and sometimes would even get in and start to go smooth and then just jerk a little bit more. So far, we're okay. So Strange wanted to maybe try and get in the right-hand lane. We do need to get in the right-hand lane. We'll see how that goes. I've always wondered about how far in advance does the system anticipate where it needs to go lane-wise. Because that's what I do, right? So I know I'm going to be in that right lane. I would have been in the right lane by now. Okay, so maybe wanted to try and turn again there, but for whatever reason decided not to. Okay, got the blinker on now. Nope, I don't know what's stopping it from doing it. Okay, blinker on again. Safe to go. This new blue path is new. I'm sure if any of you have been watching other folks' FSD drives, that's not a surprise, but kind of a neat thing. A clearer intended path, especially for turns. Okay. So here's kind of the next set of challenges. So it's kind of an on-ramp onto our bridge, kind of a cloverleaf thing, right? 10.10.2 has consistently put the brakes on for this yield, where again we're adding a new lane of traffic from this lane, so there's no reason to stop, no reason to yield. There is no yield sign, so it should just keep rolling at a regular speed and not worry about traffic. Okay, good. So there's no slowdowns there. We're at 40. We do indeed need to be in this left lane. And so consistently what it does is get into the right lane before the exit. But you can be in this middle lane and still get to the exit to get off the ramp, which is where we need to be. So let's see what the behavior is this time, if any change. Okay, yep, so it's turning into the right lane. And then it will get into that left-hand lane right here, right? So that's awkward. Being in a left turn. So I'm gonna go ahead and still report that. Because I mean, technically, right, there's a white line here, so it's not illegal, but it's the lane is free to be in there. We were in the right lane. There's no reason to get into the right lane. We were in the correct lane, and we could have just stayed there. That's the, dare I say, human thing to do, right? Again, kind of anticipating where we're needing to go. Okay, so last couple of drives, FSD will again slow down here for again new lane of traffic. No need to yield or anything. No merging. So okay, that was fine. Okay, so some strange kind of indecisiveness on where it should be there, but it's okay. Okay, so 4-way stop that we were at beginning of the drive, it's fine. right, so there's not really many more challenges for this drive. So typically here I'll give my wrap up first. Thank you so much to all of my subscribers so far. At this point I'm a little over 200, which is fantastic. So thank every 200 of you wonderful people who have thought my content interesting enough to sub. I really appreciate it. And I typically don't pander and ask for, you know, thumbs up and all that good stuff, but I do like to interact with folks. So if you have a comment, please leave it. Let me know what you thought. Do you have FSD? Are you waiting for FSD? Do you have any questions? Do you have any suggestions? Happy to interact with all y'all in the comments. Really interesting. All right, so last left turn, which is protected, and it usually does well here. I drive with FSD probably 70%, maybe 60. When it's straight like this, or just running to the grocery store, and it's kind of a boring drive, you know, or just a really straight, I'll throw it on. It's fine that way, but I haven't really gotten it to be like my default for going places quite yet. It's getting there. This was a great drive, really, especially right out the gate. Very smooth in most everything. Some strange jerkiness here and there, and you know, some questionable turns, but some of that I think has to do with the go ahead and disengage here and finish out. Some of that I think has to do again with the road markings, and I think once the city repaints some of those things, it will do a lot better. But on the whole, I think this was a really great drive. I will do another drive during the day, so we've got another day drive as well. But you know, I was really excited to get out and do this. The updates have been very strange as far as how they're rolling out. Some folks, there's a lot of folks, most of the folks in the beta program were left in the 10.10.2 like I was. They rolled out to about, it's hard to tell with Tesla, between Teslafy and Tesla Scope, you know, you get a decent picture. I would guess somewhere in the ballpark of like a rollout of like 600 or so, maybe 1,000 on the high end. For 10.11 seemed pretty limited, and then they rolled out maybe to a little bit more, and then they stopped. And then 10.1 added Canadian folks, but not very many. And then finally 10.11.2 and yeah, it's just kind of seemed to stall out for several days. Not quite sure what happened, but anyway, strange rollout, but I finally got it. And yeah, overall, so far, great drive. Looking forward to doing some more. Ooh, what's this? What is that? I don't know what that is. Oh, game update. Hey, haven't seen that before. Cool. So we'll get home and connect to Wi-Fi, see what that's all about. Yeah. Thanks everybody for coming along this ride, and we'll catch you next time. Peace!